Welcome to Ogtv Mid News with me, Mojisola Shulaja. Our top stories. President Buhari seeks U.S. assistance towards tackling security challenges facing Nigeria. Nigeria to partner UK for improved economic ties. Ogun Police Command dismisses 3 officers over extortion. European Parliament to ratify post-Brexit EU-UK trade deal. Your failure does not define you, your determination does.
And coming up later tonight on the sports segment of the news, Liverpool reports £46 million pre-tax loss. This and many more later. My name, Hakeem Akitunde. You're welcome.
President Muhammadu Buhari has stressed the need for the support of the United States and other important and strategic partners in combating the security challenges facing the country. He said the support was necessary because the consequences of insecurity in Nigeria would affect all nations. The president made the call during a virtual meeting with the U.S. Secretary of State, Mr. Antony Blinken. Apart from seeking the assistance of the U.S., President Buhari also called on the U.S. to consider relocating U.S. Africa Command from Stuttgart, Germany to Africa, nearer the theater of operations. He also admonished the international community to support Nigeria and the sub-region in tackling growing security challenges to avoid spillovers. The president said Africa, which partners with countries to counter transnational threats, should be relocated to Africa to strengthen ongoing efforts to check the security situation, which may likely have effect on other nations.
On the part of Nigeria, I renew calls for enhanced collaboration in all forms with our friends and strategic partners to work together for greater security for all, the most significant condition for overcoming these existential challenges.
President Buhari congratulated Blinken on his appointment by President Joe Biden and commended the United States for the decision to repeal the immigration restriction known as the Muslim ban, rejoining the World Health Organization and Paris Agreement on climate change. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said he was pleased to make Nigeria part of his first virtual visit to Africa, noting that Nigeria and the United States of America share a lot in bilateral issues.
Our relations have been strong for 60 years, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to work with you and your team on building on that foundation and charting a shared vision to guide our strategic partnership for the coming years. I look forward to discussing our cooperation in responding to a challenge to all of humanity, COVID-19, as well as our sustained efforts to strengthen global health security, so we're better prepared for the next disease outbreak.
The former governor of Lagos State and chieftain of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has formally reacted to insinuations in some quarters that there is an unhealthy relationship between him and President Muhammadu Buhari, describing it as baseless, unfounded, and a figment of their imagination. Asiwaju Tinubu made this clarification while speaking after an audience with the president. This is the first formal engagement between President Buhari and Asiwaju Bola Tinubu since January last year. The former Lagos State governor, who was accompanied into the State House by Chief Bisi Akande, met the president behind closed doors where critical national issues were discussed. Asiwaju Tinubu dismissed claims that there is an unhealthy relationship between him and the president.
Nothing like unhealthy. Who is our doctor? Is it social media that is measuring the relationship? I don't have to disturb him openly on camera. We have so many ways to look at issues.
On the prevalent challenges of security in the country, Tinubu made a case for Nigerians to bury their differences and support the president in his genuine lasting solutions.
There's no president who will want his country in chaos. Have you seen one? There's no one that we want a citizen exposed to banditry and danger. And it calls for serious management and serious evaluation and dialogues once in a while.
He used the opportunity to express absolute confidence in the ability of the governing APC to retain power in 2023.
The chances is as bright as a midnight star. We continue to work for a better Nigeria.
He described as exemplary the clearly stated position of the president that constitutional term limit be respected by political office holders. Still on the state of the nation, former Inspector General of Police, Sir Mike Okiro, has lamented that loss of confidence in the general security apparatus in the country was pushing people to think of alternative means of defending themselves. The former IGP also advised the federal government to look into agitations and grievances of groups like the indigenous people of Biafra to nip in the bud some of the problems escalating the security situation in the country. Speaking in Abuja, Sir Okiro, who was former chairman of Police Service Commission, bemoaned the worsening security situation in the southeast and called on the government to put every necessary measure to restore peace in the region. 3 policemen who were involved in the forceful extortion of 153,000 naira from one Sheriff Adedigba have been dismissed from service. The policemen, namely Inspector Sunday John, Sergeant Jimo Asimiya, and Sergeant Solomon Adedapo, were alleged to have forcefully extorted the said amount from the victim while he was traveling from Abeokuta to Lagos. Having heard about the incident on social media, the Commissioner of Police, CP Edward Awolowo Ajogun, ordered the immediate arrest and detention of the officers involved in the dastardly act. The 3 policemen were quickly identified and apprehended, and the money was recovered from them and returned to the victim. They were subsequently arraigned for departmental orderly room trial on 3-count charge of corrupt practices, discreditable conduct, and disobedience to lawful order. They were found guilty of all the charges and subsequently dismissed from the force to serve as deterrent to others. The victim, who was also present to give evidence, was full of praise for the Commissioner of Police and the management team for the prompt response to the incident, which he said rekindled his hope in the Nigeria Police Force. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police, CP Edward Awolowo Ajogun, has appealed to members of the public to always endeavor to report any act of misconduct from any officer of the command to him personally or through any of the principal officers of the command. As such, will be treated with utmost urgency. No fewer than 233 Nigerian Air Force pilots are presently undergoing specialized training at different aviation colleges in the United States, United Kingdom, South Africa, and the Czech Republic. Also, 4 new wings comprising 2 fighter pilots and 2 combat helicopter pilots have just completed their training in the U.S. Disclosing this at the winging of the 4 new pilots in Abuja on Tuesday, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Oladayo Amao, said this bears glowing testament to the NAV's commitment towards enhancing and sustaining critical air power capabilities required for joint force employment in pursuit of national security imperatives. This, according to him, was based on the fact that the service cannot effectively and efficiently employ air power if it did not have sufficient number of well-trained aviators and support personnel. Amao promised to sustain purposeful training and human capacity development for NAF personnel. Coming up, Nigeria to partner UK for improved economic ties. More news and reports after this timeout. You're still watching Ogtv News. Nigeria and the British government are re-strategizing for a much better partnership on improved mutual benefit for economic and social development of the two countries. The diplomatic engagement between Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister, Geoffrey Nyama, and the British government Minister for Africa, James Doddridge, tells more of the prospective commitment by the United Kingdom and the present new hope for Nigeria and Africa, especially at this time nations are surviving with the effect of the global pandemic. The two ministers shared ideas from various key sectors that guarantee future economic prosperity.
A senior ex-minister from the UK government, who the Prime Minister has appointed both as trade envoy to Nigeria, so working very much more closely with commercial partners and some of your colleagues in ministries, but also fortuitously an envoy for girls' education, where we're promising 12 years of quality girls' education.
I know that the area of humanitarian issues is one that is very much part of your portfolio, and of course it's one that is a major priority for us. Thank you very much once again for the support of the United Kingdom, the concern you're showing with the various challenges, of course, that we face in the northeast of the country and other parts of the country. We appreciate that, enormously.
That was Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Nyama and the British Government Minister for Africa, James Doddridge, sharing ideas for improved mutual economic benefits. Moving to other stories, the management and staff of Ogun State Television, Ogtv Abeokuta, have been encouraged to continue to project the best of Ogun State and exhibit professionalism while discharging their duties. Commissioner for Information and Strategy Alhaji Wahid Udushili gave these words of encouragement while receiving the management team of the station, who paid him a courtesy call in his office in Okimoso, Abeokuta. Kolawole Osho's report is presented in this package.
This is the management team of the Ogun State Television, led by the outgoing General Manager, Mr. Festus Kendi, on a farewell visit to the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Alhaji Wahid Udushili, to appreciate him for his support for the station since he assumed office. Mr. Festus Kendi also seized the opportunity to introduce other management staff of the station with an appeal to extend the cooperation he enjoyed during his tenure to them. The outgoing General Manager, Festus Kendi, also reminded the Commissioner the date for the deadline of the digital switchover in Ogun State, which he said is around the corner, while soliciting state government support for the smooth takeoff.
But on that timetable, sir, it will be the turn of Ogun State in December. Yes. It's not faster. So I think we should start working towards DSO now, sir, so that before it comes, we will be able to put everything in place, so that it should just be smooth switch over to the digital platform. As at that time, sir, our transmitter might not be useful again. Because we are going to just be content provider and need to send our signal to this signal. So, but it also comes with some additional funds. Yes, because we are not going to be paying the signal provider. We are going to pay DAF, digital access fee.
Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Asiwaju, while appreciating them for the visit, also reminded them to keep the flag flying as the general manager is taking a bow out of service. On the digital switchover deadline, Asiwaju assured of the state government's support for the station in order to be the best among equals.
We must take Ogtv to that pillar and show. So we need to make sure that information dissemination machinery is firmly on ground in the state, following the ideals of professionalism, all the internationally recognized ethics, such that we will continue to be the envy of broadcasters. As I've said, we will continue to back Ogtv. We will support Ogtv to make Ogtv better.
He also urged them to go a step higher in the course of discharging their duties so that they can be a reference point.
Ogun State government has commended the outgone general manager of Ogun State Television, Festus, as he bows out of service, describing him as a thoroughbred professional. Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Alhaji Wahid Odushile, gave the commendation at the retirement program for the general manager. Bumi Adigun reports.
Exactly 32 years today, around 8 in the morning, Bashorun Festus Oladiji Kehinde resumed at the Ogun State Television, and today he is pulled out of office after retiring from office. Seated in this hall are former general managers of the station, commissioners of culture and tourism, and information and strategy in the state, stakeholders in the broadcast industry, and members of staff of Ogun State Television, in honor of the outgoing general manager.
What made me really proud to is that everywhere I went, the people of Ogtv have always been at the top. It made me proud.
I thank God that Mr. Festus Kehinde, who was lost in the arduous stage of the corporation, is retiring as the general manager.
This is our home. This is the place that made us. We will fight for it. We will talk. We will shout so that you can know.
It was a day of speeches, all encomiums for one of the titans in the history of the television station.
I am very grateful that Ogtv is doing this for us. We are very appreciative that show. This is a very great legacy you are leaving behind. Because whether we like it or not, when the history of SME is going to be written, about this time, we will always remember you.
We are proud of Ogtv, and we really want it to be the best. Then of course, when we visit other channels, we know that the staff, when we have Ogtv, can compete anywhere in the world.
Seeing an officer pull out gloriously from service as we are having this day is a thing to appreciate the effort.
It was actually crowded with people that came to celebrate him today. It's a very good thing that we should always celebrate the people that have made an impact positively in our life.
So he has done very well. I want to congratulate him. Congratulations.
As the celebrant appreciated the honor done him, he was also conferred with the Life Ambassador of the art title by the Society of Nigerian Artists, whose artworks adorned the walls of the station's hall.
To go from strength to strength, by the grace of God,
none of you will die in OGTV. Yeah. I particularly want to thank Prince Jennifer for being a cool-headed, achieving governor.
And to his last assignment as the general manager of the station, the signing of the last letter and the handing over ceremony to the most senior officer in the station, Mr. Sheyi Oladimiji, then emotions broke out. He was thereafter symbolically pulled out of office to the shares of staff, friends, and well-wishers. For Mr. Festus Oladiji Kehinde, he came, he saw, and he conquered as he now joins the class of former general managers of the Ogun State television station.
The beauty of every civil and public servant is to bow out of service meritoriously, happily, and in good health. And this is what is happening to Bashorun Festus Kehinde, the outgone general manager of the Ogun State television. From the Ogun State television, Esme Bumi Adigo reporting for Ogtv News.
In the meantime, the outgone general manager of Ogun State television, Festus Kehinde, has been conferred with the chieftaincy title of Balogun of Idiri for his contributions to the development of Bagura Kingdom. The Agura of Bagura, Obasabur Bakre, described Festus Kehinde as a devoted man who cares greatly for humanity. Bola Oshomoji reports.
After a meritorious service at the Ogun State television and his act of charity in the Bagura community, Festus Kehinde has been conferred with the chieftaincy title of Balogun of Idiri by the Agura of Bagura, Obasaburi Bakre. The event, which was well attended by colleagues, friends and family members, had the rich cultural heritage of the Bagura people on display. The Agura of Bagura, Obasaburi Bakre, said Festus Kehinde is worthy of the honor conferred on him, describing him as a great philanthropist that has brought development to the community.
Bagura Development Council is one of the keystone. I think is the treasurer of that place. It's very good, very agile. Anything Bagura, you always take it as if it's his own. He's always there anytime you need him. And if you give him an assignment, just go and sleep. You can be sure it will be okay. And I always wish him to always be by my side.
The retired general manager, Festus Kehinde, said he was humbled by the honor and promised to devote his life to the service of God and humanity.
It is my intention to endeavor to add value to my community now that I'm no longer very busy with official work. So this is time also to encourage the young ones coming that it is only good to be part of the community and serve that community.
Bola Oshomoji, Ogtv News.
Journalists in Ogun State have congratulated the outgone general manager of Ogun State Television, Bashorun Festus Oladiji Kehinde, on his retirement after his meritorious service to the state. In a congratulatory message to the reputable media administrator, the caretaker committee of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, Ogun State Council, described Bashorun Festus Kehinde as an outstanding leader who made great impact on the profession. The body of journalists applauded his commitment to the upliftment of journalists and other professionals in the media industry, especially on the platform of the state's broadcast agency. The NUJ caretaker committee expressed the hope that Bashorun Kehinde will continue to be a blessing to the industry after retirement, noting that the media industry in the state will definitely miss his enthusiasm and unfailing dedication to helping the media industry to function. And from all of us, we wish him happy retirement. The Ogun State Enforcement Corps traced people of the state that the speed breaker color will soon be done to ensure high visibility as well as reduce the rate of crashes on the highway. The commander of the agency, Sheni Ogunyemi, disclosed this while fielding questions from our reporter, Yusuf Ganiu, in Abeokuta, the state capital.
Recently, Ogun State Public Works Agency constructed speed breakers across some major roads in Abeokuta metropolis, which is significantly done to reduce accidents on the highway. This initiative is also to ensure safety on the road, as well as serve as speed limiting device.
People are not scared of, especially if you want to cross over to the other side. The trailer who are coming, they are not going to wait for you. But now, because of the speed breaker have been put in place, so it has really made our mind at peace concerning this area.
I will thank the government by putting bombs ahead now, because a lot of danger is on this road. But like 2 or 3 months ago now, a lot of trailer issue on this road, as then with the Thursday. But like for 2 weeks ago now, when they did the bombs, I think the accident reduced, because the rate at which the trailers they are moving now, they are moving slowly.
While speaking with the commandant, Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps, Sheni Ogunyemi, disclosed that speed breakers helps to limit crashes on that 50 km/h is the minimum for those driving within the metropolis.
There are some hidden dangers you may not know on the road, at least if we are the first user of that particular road. Speed breakers will be able to tell you to slow down, to avert the dangers. So that is the excess of speed breakers, but not to be used arbitrarily.
He further emphasized that the state government will soon put color on the speed breaker for high visibility.
There should be signs to tell you, even when there is sign, do they follow the sign? You don't even see the sign. You slow down speed breakers on the road. They started constructing the Okiro on going to Interchange. We know that we have speed breakers. We have signs there. Do they even follow it?
The role of family as a factor in the development of the society cannot be overemphasized. In the same vein, career and jobs are the strength of sustainability in the same society. In this special report, Margaret Okunlola takes a look at the dangers of unbalanced career with domestic life and how best to strike a balance between both. Her report.
As family makes up fragments of the society, so also career and jobs make up the sustainability strength of the same society. Speaking with Nigerians, they pointed out that balancing both may tend to be a bit difficult, as both requires prompt attention and time. Respondents stated the dangers of not properly balancing career with domestic life.
We should not give priority to our own, to our career, to the detriment of our family. If not, whatever comes out of that family will not be able to be good for the society. Will not be able to be part of the development of the society.
If the society is not all right, the home cannot be all right. And if the home is not all right, it will tell on the society.
Is balancing of career and domestic life restricted to only the females in the society?
Home, works, and whatever chores, they are two different things. And as a man or as a woman, between husband and wife, there must be synergy, there must be cooperation. There are duties husband must also play. There are things husband must do.
How then can the people maintain balance between career and domestic life?
Determination, diligence, and discipline.
Don't give too much priority to your work to the extent that you forget your family. Many are doing that today, but it's not the best.
Respondents further called on parents, guardians, and all stakeholders involved to strive to maintain balance in all spheres of life for the sake of peace and stability of the society. Margaret Okunola, Ogtv News.
Born in the year 1939, Professor Antony Asiwaju has distinguished himself as a yeoman from Imeko, Ogun State, in education, which made him an outstanding historian in the country. In this special report commemorating Professor Asiwaju's 82nd birthday, his career and compatriot activities were x-rayed.
Day of April 1939, Professor Antony Asiwaju was born to the family of late Pa Peter Egbedele and Maria Usuajini Asiwaju in Imeko, Afon local government area of Ogun State. Professor Antony Asiwaju started his career as the headmaster at St. Stephen's Catholic School at Okiro in Adodota and St. Augustine's Catholic Primary School at Belkuta between 1960 and 1962. He was a tutor at St. Mark's Catholic Teachers Training College, Iperu Remo, and Our Lady of Apostles Secondary School, Ijebode, between 1962 and 1966. Asiwaju bagged his bachelor with honors degree in history from the University of Ibadan in 1966 and Doctor of Philosophy in 1971, also from the University of Ibadan.
A Nobel laureate in science. I also want to say that also in humanities, if Nobel Prize is not meant for history, and I wonder why not? Mausi, the German historian in the early 20th century.
In 1969, Professor Antony Asiwaju rose from lecturer in the University of Lagos to professor of history, head of Department of History between 1979 to 1982, Dean, Faculty of Arts, 1983 to 1985. He was the Commissioner International Boundaries National Boundary Commission, Lagos, between the year 1988 and 1994.
National Boundary Commission, we should break for lunch and then take the responses from the states after lunch.
Between the year 2001 to date, Professor Antony Asiwaju, an emeritus professor of history, is the director, Center for Africa Regional Integration and Border Studies. Elizabeth Son, Ogtv News.
And still to come on the business segment of the news. The National Bureau of Statistics said in fourth quarter 2020, total transactions recorded through electronic payment channels reached 356.47 trillion naira.